Hey everybody, what's going on? Happy anniversary, Donkey Kong. Wow, it's been 40 years since you appeared, and not only that too, this was your debut too. And also to a familiar plumber that's also running down there who was known as Jumpman, or should how since he's been renamed in 1984 as Mario, Super Mario actually, until he got his game back in 1985. And yes, I really do regret missing on the 35th anniversary, but this game to me holds a place in my heart too because I hate to say this too, but this wasn't the first game that I actually started with. It was actually Donkey Kong Country. We'll get to that in a second, but let's talk about Donkey Kong. This was actually one of the greatest arcade games and one of the best games of 1981. And definitely not only that too, Billy Mitchell is the champion who pretty much broke records with this game, and that to me is impressive. And wow, Billy Mitchell, it's amazing how you immediately, broke records and showed exactly what happened. Despite the controversy of what happened, but you know how the world is. Literally, the world wants to find a way to pretty much just take you down. But at the same time, you fought and you exactly gave a good point of like how you actually got to the end and managed to make it to the highest score and make it to the very end. To me, it's impressive. And Billy Mitchell, to me, is the king of this game. So, yeah, Donkey Kong is, to me, one of my favorite arcade games, right next to Pac-Man, like, right in the 1980s. But, not only that, I never played any other of the Donkey Kong Journey games, even though we do have Donkey Kong Jr., which is the sequel to the Donkey Kong game, where you get to play as the son, while Donkey Kong gets kidnapped by Mario, or should I say Jumpman, and then right there, that's where you pretty much follow suit. But then the one that started it all was actually this one, and I gotta say, to me, it still holds up to this day, and I'll get to this point here too. I didn't grow up with this game ever since I was a kid. I wasn't born in the 80s. I was born in the 90s. So let me talk about Donkey Kong Country, which came out on the Super Nintendo. And yes, I got the NES Classic, right? Super Nintendo Classic, and I also got the NES Classic, as I already proved my point here. So yeah, let me talk about the Donkey Kong Country trilogy. I grew up with it. I never owned the first game. I had my next door neighbor who had it. I had Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3, and all the time, me and my friend always trade games. I always traded in for Power Rangers, the beat 'em up game, and then the Donkey Kong Country first game. And I'll be honest with you, I love Donkey Kong Country, and I love the graphics that still holds up to this day. The soundtrack composed by David Wise, mwah, it's a masterpiece. Sugar Brush Symphony, Aquatic Ambience, without a doubt, it is one of my favorite soundtracks. And Lockjaw Saga, to me, that is one of the best. And also Fear Factory, it still holds a place in my heart. And I gotta say, Donkey Kong Country is one of my favorite games of all time. And same thing with 2, and I know everybody doesn't get the attention with 3, but I thought 3 is the best. Is also one of the greatest. Despite not having Diddy Kong or Donkey Kong, we have a bigger and more expanded adventure with Dixie Kong and Kiddy Kong, which kind of looks like Donkey Kong's son, but it's not really. Still to this day, not figured out who the kid is actually from. Funky Kong, Candy Kong, whose kid is it? Like, it's still not to this day known. And yeah, I played those games, and I thought to me it's one of my favorite games of all time. And every time I play Donkey Kong, I always will remember one of my old childhood friends, Carlitos. Every time I play that game, I always think about him. Sadly, it's been nearly 5 years since his passing. He died in a car accident, and every time I play Donkey Kong, I get emotional, and I always think about him all the time because when I was a kid, I always borrowed the first game. I always lent him the second or the third game, and just every single day I played it, I get emotional, and I'll be honest, I dedicate this video to him, and with that in mind, I will always miss him for being one of my favorite, being one of my best childhood friends, and definitely, like, I will always cherish that moment when me and him always, like, get together and had fun, do backyard baseball and all that stuff. So, yeah, I dedicate this to you, my friend. And to you, Adrian, too. I hope everything's going up well with you, my friend. Especially since it's been a long time since I last seen you, so I hope one day we can get reunited once again. And, yeah, and not to get to personal stuff, but, I did get to play Donkey Kong 64 on the N64, and it's not bad. I like it, and it's like Donkey Kong's first adventure in the 3D era, and to me, it's fantastic. Even though it's overbloated with so much content and so many things, and it's nonsensical of how it goes, and especially how things are going come on, there we go. And sorry, I had to change that up though. And Donkey Kong 64 to me like had so many content. It was like, ugh. But the problem is that I never actually fully 100% of the game. Good thing I didn't, because I looked it up to see what happens if you collect all the golden bananas, all the side stuff. All you get is an outtake, and that's about it. And I think you get like some sort of costume or something like that. I don't remember. And I was like, you know what? Good thing I didn't. Even though the fight between King K. Rool, in which that was his last appearance in a Donkey Kong game, we never actually got to see him again. Especially like in the DS versions of the Donkey Kong game, which we'll get to in a bit. Donkey Kong 64 to me, it's like an 8 out of 10. The Donkey Kong 1, 10 out of 10. Donkey Kong 2, 10 out of 10. Donkey Kong 3, 10 out of 10. And the Game Boy versions, it's kind of like, you know, if you don't have a Super Nintendo or a Super Nintendo, well, you got yourself like great out of luck. What sucks is that it's a bit neutered, even though the characters kind of like stand and stuff like that. But that's the limitations of the handheld game, and still, it's not bad. It's a bit outdated, but the one that still holds up is the original Donkey Kong games. Anyways, let's talk about what other games did I play other than that too. I played so many Donkey Kong games, but not all of them. So I hate to say this, I never had my chance to play Donkey Konga, Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, which I heard it's a pretty decent game, and that was like the only GameCube Donkey Kong game that we had. We didn't actually get a mainline game. Jungle Beat, it's kind of like its own side story, and you kind of use the bongos to like, you know, move and guide Donkey Kong. You fight like a big white ape of Donkey Kong version of Donkey Kong. I don't remember what his name was, but you get to fight him. I never had a chance with that, but maybe one day I'll give it a shot. I did play the Mario vs. Donkey Kong series on the Game Boy Advance, and I thought, to me, it is amazing. It's pretty much like, you know, like the modern Mario and Donkey Kong fighting against each other, while Donkey Kong takes away one of those Mario toys, and Mario's pretty much trying to, like, you know, rescue him. And also, I think he might have kidnapped the princess, and I even played the harder version of the game, and fucking hey, it is a pain in the ass. And to be honest, I think, to me, that Mario vs. Donkey Kong was great. Despite all that, I never get to play the sequels on the DS or the 3DS versions. I never had a chance to play them. I was busy with work in college. I did never own a Wii, so I never had a chance to play the Donkey Kong Country Returns, which pretty much brought back Donkey Kong back to the limelight of, like, you know, what made him popular in the first place. And sorry, if you want to save 10% or 50% on your electric bill, close the lights, close the blinds. It saves you a lot of money. And yeah, so I get to play it on the 3DS version. As you can see, I got the 3DS version of Donkey Kong Country Returns. The frame rate's a bit choppy, the graphics look a little choppy, but it's the limitations. But to me, I like playing this game. Oh, and especially the hand cramping. It is a pain in the ass, but I like it. If you don't have the Wii, you actually have this to play with. And to be honest, I love this game a lot. Sadly enough, I never got to play Tropical Freeze. I only played a couple of demos, and especially at a friend's house. And I'll be honest, I absolutely think the game is a masterpiece. I think, to me, over this, I like this game. I really, really do. But what I like about Tropical Freeze much more than the Donkey Kong Country Returns is actually let me go back to this part. Is the soundtrack. David Wise comes back to compose the soundtrack, and him doing Sticker Brush Symphony, Aquatic Ambience, which is amazing, and I think it holds up to even the Super Nintendo version, and there is lots of them, including Lockjaw Saga. To me, he even bought that back, and I thought it was amazing how the way he did it, and wow, and not only that too, it's 6 worlds, and then the 7th world, and the other version of Donkey Kong Returns, there's 9, but here there's 7, but the levels are a lot more expanded. And in Donkey Kong Country Returns, you finish it under 5 or 6 minutes. In this one, you finish it under 10 or 8 minutes, at least. So it's kind of like double the time, depending on how you do and how you feel on platforms. And I love platformers. I love platformers so damn much. And everybody says that Donkey Kong Country 2 is the hardest. It's not. If you're good at platforming, if you have really good reflexes, sorry, I kind of got confused by that. And you can pretty much beat it. I did play the Game Boy Advance version of Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3, and I did 100% of it, except 3. I never got a chance to fully 100% of the game, but I did fully 100% on Donkey Kong Country Returns. Never did the racing ones. I'm like, no, pass on the racing ones. But I did manage to unlock all the artwork. But maybe one day when I own the Switch version of the Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, maybe for sure I'll hold it down. But especially with... why did the advanced version of the Switch is such disappointment? To me, I was expecting harder, bigger memory, which is 64 gigabytes, a wider screen, so pretty much saw bigger what everybody thought it was, 7-inch OLED TV, but OLED screen, but it's not exactly 4K. It's not technically 4K. It can work on a 4K TV, but it will not. But you only get to see the crystallized part. But you cannot even see the 4K part on the advanced version, on this advanced version of the Switch, which I'm a little disappointed. Sadly, it's $50 more, which is not too bad. But now that all the scalpers and all the people already pre-ordered the game, and I'm gonna be like, well, shit. But what sucks is that there's a lot of Switches right now in stores right now. I'm planning on getting one, but I don't know. I'm really waiting right now because I'm still stuck with this console because it's hard to get a Series X to this day. And I'm actually planning on upgrading my TV too because I had this TV since 2011. So I'm planning on getting a 4K TV. But right now there's a lot of stuff that I have to do outside of work and outside of the house. That's why I haven't made videos as of this day. So be patient. And yeah, this is for me, in my opinion, like a video dedicated to what made Donkey Kong, made my childhood happy, and still to this day holds up to me. And I just hope this generation of gamers, even though they always rely on Call of Duty, Fortnite, Minecraft, microtransactions, which is now inspired by many freaking games, Avengers, I'll get to that soon. I just hope Donkey Kong gets the attention it deserves because, yeah, Donkey Kong is like the 5th most sold franchise in the Nintendo saga, right behind Zelda, Smash Brothers, Pokemon, and of course Mario. And I just hope soon enough, everybody gives Donkey Kong a chance because I'm like, seriously, to Retro Studios, whoever's developing the 3rd game, which I heard that they said that they're developing it a couple of years ago. Please give us back King K. Rool. He's back in Smash. I want to see him in this. I want to see him in Donkey Kong Country 3 or the reboot of how you guys call it now. I want to see it, and I heard rumors that it's gonna be in 3D. I wouldn't mind it, but please just give us a trilogy of the 2D platformers, and then soon down the line give us a 3D platformer, which would be Donkey Kong 4D or whatever you guys want to call it, and have King K. Rool come back too. I miss King K. Rool, I miss the Kremlings, I miss the villains, and I don't know, maybe take us... Oh, this is going to sound a little dark. Take us to the underworld of King K. Rool's, where he has been ever since Donkey Kong 64. We haven't seen him in the mainline game, except in the DS version of him, where you pretty much battle against him, but I don't think that kind of counts. It's kind of like a spin-off. I want to see where he has been and how he feels humiliated now that Donkey Kong and his family pretty much just kicked his ass. And new characters to be introduced. I hope we get to see Chunky Kong or Lanky Kong, Tiny Kong. I don't know, whatever you guys have in store, I am there. And if I get a 3DS Switch, if I get the Switch OLED, I'll give it a shot. I'll do a full review on it if I can, as long as the scalper's not doing it. But right now, my mission is this. But for right now, I am going to say happy 40th anniversary, Donkey Kong. You've been the best, and I'm most looking forward to what you have in store in the future. So with that in mind, Nick, this is that video, and I'll see you guys soon enough with not with Suicide Squad, Birds of Prey, and Wonder Woman 1984. I'll see you guys then.